Ah, start the show by pulling my earbuds out.
Only your computer doesn't.
Hey,
Oh, hey.
hey, we're live. What's happening, Fish and friends? Welcome to another Saturday night. We're gonna call it SNFL, Saturday Night Fish and Live. So there's not copyright on SNL. Saturday Night Fish and Live. Welcome, Fish and friends. We've already got 100 people in here, and I literally just clicked live. Y'all are freaking awesome. I'm excited tonight. As you can see, I am joined by the one, the only, the man, the myth, the legend, the Dizzle.
What's going
Randall,
on?
we're glad to have you on.
Yeah, I'm still halfway sans voice right now. I don't know what it is. I just can't get it back.
Good burr. That's all right. Everything's gonna be okay. Keep sipping on your toddy there. So
Mountain
tonight,
Dew,
where are we
man. Come
going?
on.
Some Diet Mountain Dew. So where are we going tonight, man? I'm excited tonight because I was sitting in the shack today. I went ice fishing today. It was I didn't even get to talk to Randall about it. I called you on the way home. You didn't answer. Randall loves to ghost me whenever I call him,
I don't like
so
to
that's
answer the
fine,
phone, man. Sorry.
dude. I know. Yeah, I'm well aware. Uh, had a good day ice fishing. It started out, it was like 2 hours, and I had like maybe a nibble, hadn't caught a single fish. And then I decided
Mhm.
to move and I drilled like 4 holes. And I'm like, if I don't get anything in these, I'm done. And I honestly was like, I'm about to leave. Dad thought the same thing because he started moving holes. Neither of
Yeah.
us could catch anything. And then it was game on over there. And we were only fishing in 4 foot of water. We were fishing a backwater of the Mississippi. Yeah, that's crazy.
Dang.
Craziness. But
Right?
I ended up getting my PB perch. It was just a hair under 14 inches, which is
Dang.
which is a tanker for me anyway. I'm sure those guys in Wisconsin and Canada are like, oh, I catch 20 inches all the time. But hey, this is little old Debo in Iowa. Um, so I ended up having a good day ice fishing, but I heard a number of people walking by. There was a gentleman that drove out on the ice, which always freaks me out. I don't feel like this was anywhere close enough. I think it was about just under 10 inches of ice.
Oh,
Yeah,
you're good.
dude drove his little Jeep thing out on it. Was yeah, I don't know, scares the hell out of me. But I heard a number of people walking by said, "Have any luck? Have any luck?" So I figured tonight we're going to talk about fishing, the mental side of fishing, confidence, all that stuff that goes into the mental prep versus luck. Is it just luck? I hear all kinds of people saying, "Do you have any luck? We're in the right place, at the right time." I don't know. We're gonna go completely down that rabbit hole. Michael Stake said that he purchased a laptop today just so he could get on to be a member and watch my lives. Michael,
Dang.
I hope that's not the truth, but if it was, you are for sure a devoted fish and friend. So thank you, brother. I
Hmm.
appreciate that. Bruce, let's see, who all do we have in the house? Bruce says Dizzle skip karaoke night. Yeah, he's always out on Friday nights getting rowdy, doing the doing the karaoke. Who else we got in here? Eliza, Chris Russ, big old perch. Yeah, man, that was a Mondo perch. It schlabber knocked it.
Uh,
Philip Cheek in the
Mike
house.
said
Nick.
Mike said something about me not wanting to drive. Yeah, I didn't want to drive. Debo, he sent me a text. Well, I sent him a text on Friday, and
Oh,
I was
yeah,
like, "Hey, man,
Mike.
what's going on?" And he's like, "Oh, nothing. Just blah blah blah." And started talking about where we're going fishing, or if I wanted to go fishing, things like that. And he's like, "Oh, we're going to this place." And I was like, "Okay, let me check it out." And I finally got home, from running errands and whatnot. And I pull up the old GPS, and I'm like, "That's almost a 4-hour drive." And Debo's going to want to be there probably at what 7 o'clock in the morning, something like that.
Yep, that's about right. Yeah, we got there.
Did you really?
Yeah, yeah.
Dang. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I mean,
Dad and I
best
were out
case
by like
scenario, I would have been
before
there by
6.
noon.
Dang.
Oh, God. I mean, it was like I said, it was a 4-hour drive one way. And I really want to go out. One of the big things, and I'm just going to jump in there before we get into the luck versus confidence thing. I really want to try this thing out.
The hell is that?
So, this is an attachment that you put onto your auger. So, you take your drill and you buy this little attachment. And
Oh,
so,
onto
you get
like
rid
your
of the
hand auger?
handle. Yeah. So, you get rid of
Huh.
your handle and then you just screw the thing in there, and now you got a power drill. So I'm just kind of psyched to get out there and see how quick I can burn up this DeWalt drill over here.
Well, that should be fun. Well, while Randall's
Right.
burning up the drill, I'm going to talk about a giveaway quick. I am doing a giveaway, so if y'all notice, I got the whole mess over here all cleaned up. I can walk through. Everything's clear. I can see all my lures and stuff. I'm working on pegboard back there. It's actually quite a bit bigger than you can see because it goes up. Well, here goes up quite a ways. So I'm going to fill all that with stuff. Got a couple boxes. Which way is it? Why is this backwards? I've got boxes and stuff here, putting that stuff up there. So everything is clean because I had some people saying, Debo, your stuff's looking a little dirty. I'm not the most organized person. Gramps in the house, I did throw that up there. He said, all my rowdy friends have settled down. Yeah, all mine have except for Dizzaloop, man. You get him going on karaoke night. He's hard to stop. So 6 cents. I found a 6 cents bag and I figured, you know what? Let's just do a 6 cents themed giveaway because I had a bunch of 6 cent stuff in some boxes. So I just grabbed a whole bunch of random stuff. You don't have to donate or anything tonight. This is just going to go to a random person. Actually, shout out to Gramps for showing me the StreamYard giveaway tool thing. But I've got, okay, the following are in said bag for said giveaway. A finesse jig, green pumpkin. Oh, it's a gravel craw. Okay. Green pumpkin with like some brown. I have some of the 4.5-inch whales. These are in green pumpkin juice, which I love those. I had a couple really, really good days on those. And is it the Clout? Is that the stick bait from them?
Yeah, I think so.
Right?
Well,
yeah.
They have a Clout. I don't know if that's the one that's got like the little tapered end.
Somebody can correct me here. I'm going all the way down. Damn it, Nick. No. So Fat Boy Fishing with the $5 donation. Thank you. He has hounded me forever to do a rod and reel arsenal. And I said, dude, I don't really want to do that. I feel like it's like bragging whenever I see those, like, oh, look at everything. He's like, no, it's totally not. And I know it's not. Like a lot of people just talking about their gear. And trust me, like gear talk is some of my favorite stuff. But I feel like that's what I would be doing, like if I went through that. So we fight over it all the time. He used to ask me like once a week. He's kind of stopped. But Nick, I appreciate you, brother. Hugs.
Fishing the Southeast said, yeah, the Clout is the stickworm.
Okay. Yep. So they're stick bait. Also, GC became a new member. Thank you. Michael Steak in the house saying, hey. What else do we have? Fishing the Southeast. Oh, yeah. He said the Clout's the stickworm. Fishing the Southeast. Another good supporter. Mike, I told Mike, I was talking to Mike before. I told him he had to give you crap for not making the drive, Randall. So it was a plan. Next, we've got a Crush 50X, which is really a cool little bank fishing crankbait. I've used them a couple times. I haven't had any luck. I shouldn't say like the bait's bad or anything. The bait's really good. Just those days, for whatever reason, didn't catch them on a crankbait. But this thing dives like 2 to 5 feet. It's kind of like, I would say, like a 1.5, KB 1.5 size, but in that Shad Pro, which is a really good color. It's got those like holographic shad scales you can see.
Don't they have a bunch of new crankbaits that came out recently? Maybe last year, this year?
6 cents?
I've seen a bunch of them where they're...
Yeah, I don't know for sure what all, but...
I don't really see the difference a whole lot, but yeah.
9.5-inch Divine Shaky Worm. Yeah, that's the big dog. This is Watermelon Candy Magic. Pretty good looking color. I threw in a lipless, the Quake 80. That's in the 4K Gizzard. What else we got in here? Of course, I had to throw in a little Vega Frog. Really do like the Vega Frog. Both of my black ones got a bit off this year, broke off. Threw in one of the fan favorites. This is the blue one. I think it's called Black Magic. I don't have that one, but this is the black with like white accents called Paranormal Craw, which is really cool.
That thing looks sick. Yeah, the matte finish on there is awesome.
Yeah. I threw in one of my favorite colors in the Curve Lipless. This is the Crackle Craw. Wait, what? There's no way that's right. I must have switched boxes. Whoops. This is not Crackle Craw. This is Bluegill something. I don't know. Bluegill. Apparently I was looking through and threw it in there. Anyway, lipless. Let's see. I got a couple others left in here. The cool little curve. I have not caught anything on these. I threw it one day and I don't know. Went to something else. Probably a wacky rig because it worked so well. But Curve Finesse Square Bill. That's the little dude. I think these only dive like 1 to 3 feet. Awesome for bank fishing because squirrable. Got to look out for my bank anglers out there. Oh, here's a cloud. I did throw a cloud in, black and blue flake. So this cloud, I did have really good luck on that this year. Had a day throwing the old Shimano Corrado D with one of these, but you can see it's kind of cool because it's got like these little pyramids. Little weird deal to it, but really nice on a wacky rig. What you got, Randall? Are you going to say something?
No, I thought it wasn't the cloud. I think there's another one that has like a flat side to it.
The flush?
I don't
That's
know.
like their jerk bait.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh.
Yep.
I grabbed some hooks apparently. Some 4-aught EWGs, right? Yep, 4-aught EWGs because you can never have enough EWG hooks. And then, oh, did I throw 2 of these in? No, I did grab one of the flushes. That's their soft jerk bait right there. The flush that I think Randall was maybe talking about. So everything in there, that's going to go to a random winner. We'll grab that at about the hour mark. And that's what we're doing for the giveaway. So 6 cents theme, just grabbed a whole bunch of extra stuff that I had in boxes and give it to somebody else because a lot of these have not been used. Some of them, well, none of it's been used, but I mean, extra stuff. So anyway, you know what I mean. So there we go. That giveaway I'll do here in a little bit. And my earbud fell out. I think, is that Mark? Mark just, yep. Okay, let me find Mark. Mark just donated. It's a ways back. Gosh dang, you guys kill me in the comment section. I cannot keep up. Get your fish on in here. Thank you for joining, brother. Oh, what did he say? 6 Cents has some great upcoming new stuff. I thought he just said 6 Cents has great stuff. Ooh.
Even more stuff.
Yep, he's in the know on that stuff. Okay, Mark. Starting the year, thanking all my fish and teachers. Appreciate all the knowledge shared. Best in 22. Thank you very much, brother. I'll take a drink to that. Appreciate you all. Everybody who stayed with me. I don't have some big, crazy, insane plan for 2022. I'm going to keep doing my thing, trying to give you guys the best content that I can with work and kiddos and Randy going to Friday night raves and whatever the heck he's doing, losing his voice. It's a chore. I mean, trying to keep up with all this, it's a chore. But Mark, thank you. Okay, so let's get into the, as Paul and Burley would say, the show me. Let's kick it off. So the mental aspect of fishing, and this Stubby Dog's still down here. He's apparently there. He is. Stubby Dog, you want to say hi to all the nice people?
Mr. Stubbies.
Mr. Stubbers. Okay, so the mental aspect of fishing. So when the whole reason, if you're just joining, the whole reason I was saying this was, and Jig Squad's in here too. What's up, y'all? Oh my gosh, it just popped like 6 spaces. I will be on Jig Squad this Thursday, so y'all are going to want to tune into that. That's going to be a fun one. I'm super excited. More to come on that as it gets closer. I'll share it. But okay, so and Tom Alfred. Tom, I was watching Burley's live. Tom Allred. Burley kept calling him Alfred, and I think Tom Alfred forever. Anyway, Tom, what do you think of the fishing gyros from 6 Cents? Just picked up a few. I don't know what that is. The fishing.
Is that a soft bread, like soft shell taco type of thing, or what?
Yeah, with like little lamb meat slices and tzatziki sauce.
Some lamb and tzatziki and maybe some feta cheese or something.
I love gyros, however the heck you say it. Let's see. He said, LOL, thanks. So I'll have him. Oh, the tailspins. Yeah, I have not got to use those at all. I've seen them. I haven't picked up any. It's ice fishing season here, so I honestly haven't bought. I was going to say I haven't bought any tackle. I did make a little order. Randall, after I do a review, there may be a special little present for you. Yeah,
DEBO'S like, it says, man, where's that tackle at? Anybody got any tackle?
Anybody got any more of that tackle? So Tom, I have not. Unfortunately, I've seen them. They look really cool, but I have not. It's pronounced Euro, Debo. I know. Was Stubby chewing on something? He better not be. Oh, he's got his little like parrot thing back there. That's fine. The other night, my old lady and the girls were gone. They had to go out and take their grandpa some stuff. And I heard knocking upstairs. I thought it was just the girls. And I'm like, what are you doing up there? because usually the girls stay home, like when my wife goes. Completely quiet. I'm like, whatever. And I was organizing down here. Like 10 minutes later, I hear go, 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 go. Like, what are you doing up there? Stop. What's banging? Nobody answers. So I go up. I'm like, oh, what are they doing? They probably like, Brenna's got my youngest duct taped to the wall or something. No, I go up. Stubbins' dog, you, sir, tipped over the trash can, jumped up on the trash can, tipped it over, and ate. Oh, there was like 2 moldy buns that I threw out, a whole bunch of chicken bones because my dad was up to help me with my sled. My
Your shack?
The what do they call it? Smitty sled. We built a Smitty sled for it. So
really?
he ate like KFC bones. The girls had like part of Lunchables. Crap strung everywhere. That's the worst thing this dog has done. I was pissed. And he here's the picture. I sent my mom a picture, so she called me right away. She's like, "Oh my God, is he okay? Like he could choke on chicken bones, you know?" And I'm like,
"Is he all right? Is he okay?"
Here's half of it. Here's half of the mess.
Hit it at a different angle.
I can't really
your
show
halo
you
light. There you go. That's good.
Yeah. So there's like half of it, and it kept going out like into our living room. And I ripped him a new one. I yelled at him as soon as I got up there. And this was the, can you find the stubby? This was me after I was on my phone with mom. And that's the box of tackle that I ordered down there, or maybe didn't order. But yeah, I found some really good deals and some Calyx braid. Who was that told me about the Calyx braid? I don't know. I'm going off on tangents.
That was a while ago. Calyx
Yeah,
was a long time ago.
That was, like 3 or 4 years ago. That gentleman emailed me. I forget who it was off the top of my head, but they had like the yellow stuff on sale, 1,000 yards for $12. So I bought a spool of it. It's good stuff. Anyway, okay. So I digress. Tom, thank you for the donation. Where are we at? Oh my gosh, I'm so far behind. Lisa, $10 super sticker. Lisa, thank you so much for the donation. Appreciate you. I'll take a sip to that. Eliza says no, euro is pronounced euro. I don't even know. I'm not an English major. Okay, so 265 people in here waiting. Like, are we ever going to get to the show me to this?
Right? Okay. No, Stubby ate the bones already. So
No, Stubby ate the bones. Stubby's guilty. Look at him back there pouting. Yeah, you're bad.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so fishing confidence, the mental aspect of fishing versus luck. So I heard a number of people walking by today talking to the people that drove out on the ice, sitting on the back of their Jeep thing or whatever. Any luck? Any luck? I heard it a bunch of times. So the reason I was thinking this is because I ended up moving to find deeper water. We were fishing in like this little channel that was like 3 feet deep. That's it. And people were catching fish in this backwater. I was in like 2 feet of water and this is of course under the transducer. So it's probably like 3 feet actually under the ice. But I ended up moving, found a spot that was like 4 feet deep and the day completely changed. So I guess Randy, when we go out, and I was talking to Philip Cheek before it, where he said he'll have a bunch of people walk by him when he's out bank fishing. They say, "Any luck?" And he'll say, "Well, luck doesn't have anything to do with it. It's I know what I'm doing fishing type thing." So my question is, Randy and everybody in the comments, what do you think? Is fishing purely luck, or is there an actual mental aspect to it, preparing yourself mentally, using the knowledge you have of fishing patterns, time of year, water temperature, where's the forage, what cover are they going to be on? Is it more luck, or is it putting all that together in as calculated of a guess as you can to try to find those fish for the day? I already know my answer. I've talked about it before, but
I'm definitely 6 of one and half dozen of another. It's sometimes you just get lucky. I mean, there's nothing about it. It's the perfect cast at the perfect time, at the perfect moment, underneath the perfect bit of cover. Like everything just happens to work out. And bam, you catch a fish. Other times I know there's a a ton of rocks along this entire wall right here. I'm going to throw a jig at it. I'm going to throw a square bill at it. I'm going to do something like that. And you're slaying them all day long. More so, I think it is you feel lucky when you're confident in baits. That's why I throw a jig all the time. And I feel like, oh, that was a lucky cast. I just happened to throw it in right to the right spot. But for me, I'm confident in a jig. I can throw it in there. I can get, into those little spots where I probably couldn't get another lure into. But I know I can because it's a jig, and that's just what I'm, overly confident with. So
You're
it's
overly confident with it. Why?
because I've had luck on it before, or
Mhm.
I've had, I've caught plenty of fish on it because I'm confident in the lure, because I've used it a ton, because I know what the circumstances are. But then on the other hand, I'll throw a jig when you're like, "What are you doing, you
Oh yeah,
stupid? You
I've
would
I've
Why are
seen you
you
doing
throwing
doing
that? What
that.
are you doing?" And sometimes I just get lucky that way. So that's where I'm kind of torn on this whole topic of confidence versus is it actual luck?
So by you kind of burn it down to where I would go with it. So time on the water and past failures. There's no such thing as a failure. I hate the word failure. Learning opportunity, right? Because I feel like failure is so negative.
Area of improvement.
Well, no, I mean, really, even when you fail, even when you like do something bad or fail, quote unquote, you're still learning. That's like
Oh
I used
yeah.
to fight
Yep.
MMA. My first fight, I got my butt handed to me, and I learned so much in that fight because I came in overconfident. I'd only been training for like 7 months. I thought I was, Billy Badarse on the street, and I fought a guy who had fought like 12 fights. He was one of the local heroes. Dude was super nice. We talked for quite a long time, stayed in touch afterwards, but I learned so much from that, quote unquote failure. So as he's saying, time on the water and past, failures, experiences of what can separate fishing from catching. And I completely agree. It's not luck. You don't just have luck on that jig after you've fished it and have learned the ins and outs for what, 10, 15 years, however long you've been, throwing a jig as a
Right.
confidence lure. When you first start out, a lot of it is luck because you don't know. Like for me, throwing a spinner bait,
Yeah.
I remember when I first got into a spinner bait, it was one of my confidence lures. I would just throw it because I like to cast and wind stuff. And I would see dad, slow working this worm, and I would try like hell to work a worm. And I couldn't figure out bites. I couldn't figure out if it was a
Yeah.
stick, if it was a rock. And I would just get frustrated with it. So I just start slinging a spinner bait. At least I'm doing something, right? Because I can't just
Yeah.
like throw a bobber out and sit or like, slow drag a worm like that I'm just doing. So I would just hook the spinner bait and cast and reel. And I would start to find spots where I would say, okay, I think I can catch a fish here. In a few casts, I'd start to get it. Standing timber, bringing up by logs, all these sorts of things. So I think as you start out, a lot of it can be a lot of luck. But as you start to put those variables together and learn, okay, I've got a tree. Where's the first place I always throw on a tree? Probably shouldn't, but crotch of the tree, right? I
Crotch of
tell
the
people all
tree.
the time, crotch of the tree. Like if you have a big tree that V's out, if you throw in the crotch of that tree, it seems like 8 times out of 10, there's a fish there. And you start to put that together, and what feels like, or to a lot of people may even still seem like luck, years into fishing, starts to become less luck and more of a calculated, what would the word be? Calculated guess. And some people say, well, yeah, that's maybe still luck. And it is. There's days where Randy and I have gone out and I'm like, dude, we're going to kill them on lures A and B. And we try
Yeah.
lures A and B, and it doesn't work out. So then what do? Do you pack up and go home? No, we've had days where we've completely sucked it up the first half of the day and then figured out the bite. And that's a whole nother side to the confidence talk, right? To that
Yep.
topic of what happens if you've got something completely in your head, conditions are perfect. Like I've been out on days where you've got a little ripple on the water, completely cloudy, water's like 70 degrees. I'm like, oh, dude, I'm going to kill it on a spinnerbait. This is perfect, like by the book spinnerbait conditions, and you don't get any bites. What the hell do?
Yep.
It's like you're completely blown out of the water. Like, oh my gosh. The good thing about Randy and I is usually we throw different stuff because we like to try different things and we hate to throw what the
Yep.
other guy's throwing. So if you fish with a buddy, a lot of times you can cut that guessing game or that luck kind of in half. If he's throwing a jig slow moving, and I'm throwing a search lure, we can kind of cut that guessing game in half. If he's caught 5 fish on a jig and I haven't caught anything, even though it's really hard for me some days to switch, because I'm like, I don't want to just switch to what Randy figured out. I don't want him to be the winner. We both do it. But that's a great way to cut that curve if you're out fishing with friends. Don't just fish the same thing if you're not getting bites. Switch it up, try different stuff, talk about it.
Yeah, totally. It's like, we go to this little urban, little like hidden lake, and I'm like, dude, throw an underspin or throw a swim jig. You're gonna catch them because I've been dominating them. And you're like, no, I'm gonna do my own thing. Don't tell me what to throw. Okay.
So Will, that I think this fits my theory. 100% luck. You have to have the right bait at the right spot and the fish wanting to eat it. So I still feel like there's a whole lot of really good calculated information you can use to pick that bait, or some baits that you think are going to work. And there's not a right answer. Maybe it is all luck. I mean, maybe I'm just blowing steam. And Matthew, also a good supporter, my swim bait guy. Luck sometimes, skill other times, right? Yeah, maybe it is. And sometimes it is like, I'll just throw a random cast out sometimes where there shouldn't be a fish and I'll catch something.
Right.
Frank
or you
says,
try to make a cast and you backlash and have to actually end up, cutting it off. And when you're caveman pulling the line back in, you have a fish on there.
Yep. But that's also another clue. So use that mental aspect of, okay, hold on, listen here. I was having a crappy day. I was picking this backlash out and just letting it sit and I got a bite, right? Maybe I need to slow down. Maybe I've been fishing too fast. Maybe I need to soak it, dead stick it more, let it sit on the bottom. Try to use that stuff.
If you think you're going slow enough, just slow down some more.
Dan becoming a member. Dan, thank you very much. I appreciate all my members and all my supporters out there. It helps out the Debo channel. Ooh, Alex, well said. Luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. Very well said.
Was there a like an inspirational like sunset or like beach sunrise picture that goes along with it?
Yeah, in a picture.
Or you need to like throw in the more you know.
So here's a good one. Kyle says, for most it's luck, but the pros are far beyond luck. So what's the difference between a pro and a regular angler? I feel like it's their knowledge of the ability to find fish, which is time of year, what pattern are they in? Is it spawn, pre-spawn? Where are they going to be? Having that knowledge to know, okay, if fish spawn, they're usually in X amount of water, a hard bottom. There's a number of things that go down the line, and a lot of that just comes with time on the water, figuring that stuff out. So I feel like,
but then again, like a pro isn't going to just like, you or me, we could potentially, or, anybody could go out and just depend on luck. Pros aren't going to go out and depend on luck. They're going to go out and depend on confidence of their knowledge of the body of water, like you were saying, the bottom, the things like that. And Mondo Mike's fishing, they're electronics too. So
yeah, I did see that a couple. Yeah, and especially with like the live 360, all that stuff. Yeah, that's definitely not luck. I mean, you can see the fish. It's kind of like ice fishing. Like I can see the fish on my Vex, so I know if there's something there or not.
Right. Yeah. So I mean, it's again, but it's where, or you assume where you probably should drill a hole. You're not just going to go out onto the water and be like, oh, here's a good spot, hole, and just sit there all day.
Yep.
You're going to go
deeper
and
water fish tend to move to deeper water in the cold. Bass tend to move to that deeper water, holes, that kind of stuff in the cold. Yep. They're not going to be up in a foot of water unless you're fishing a backwater like today and catch them in 4 foot. But
you're using your experience and your confidence in knowing the body of water. And, it's more than just luck. It's partially luck just because, at some point in time you had to be lucky, potentially, if you're going to a new body of water to catch that first fish, to be able to pick up on that,
even if you see
that trend or whatever.
Yeah, even if it's like you see a bedding fish during spawn, you can see 5 fish. And there's been multiple times Randy has outfished me and caught big fish. One, actually, they were both like 4-something pounders. One was almost 5. I threw a swim bait at it for I don't know how long. His second pitch with a jig, because he knows with the jig he could slow it down, keep it right on the bed. He caught it again. Just last year, exact same thing. I threw a swim bait at it for like 15 minutes. Bluegill imitation. It was a Matt Lures, which are like $20, something stupid. It was my first time using it. I'm like, they say these are supposed to be really good imitations, and the bass were chasing bluegill. I'm like, dude, this is the perfect opportunity. Threw it for like 20 minutes until it bit the tail off. Randy goes in for like 3 throws with a jig, catches it. So, Andrew, I completely agree, Andrew. When it comes to color, I do think anglers overcomplicate color, because I'm not going to say it's luck, but I think that reaction strike, like if I'm flipping into a crotch of wood, right, a V in the wood, and I throw in there, it could be black and blue, it could be green pumpkin, it could be pink. And I think a lot of those fish are just biting it out of, reaction. That's what they call a reaction strike, is like, my analogy I always use. If I throw a ball at you, out of reaction, you're going to try to catch it or move or blink. Same thing with a fish. They see food, moving by. Instinctively, they're going to grab it. So sometimes I don't think color matters. Other times I think color can make all the difference. So it's like.
Yeah. And I know Debo, you and I have, let's swim it in a pack, We always give each other kind of like a little bit of guff here and there when one person's, catching fish on, the exact same lure the other guy is, but in a different color. Let's swim it in a pack. And, there was one day where I think we were both throwing chatterbaits, and yours was more, maybe like a little bit more natural, and maybe mine was
actually really bright with the chartreuse, and it was kind of that green water, and yours was the natural
vice versa.
Yep.
And you kept catching them, and I didn't catch anything. And literally we were casting, and where our baits were landing was maybe at most 1.5 feet apart from each other. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, there's some times when the color just is the deal. So my guy Nick, I think the confidence allows you to do more things correctly. I agree, like fishing something properly and not being lazy, if that makes sense. It completely makes sense. Yep. Just like a worm. So back to the days where my old man would throw a worm. I wouldn't say being lazy, but it was just the lack of knowledge. I didn't know if I should drag it. I didn't know if I should hop it. I didn't know if I should reel it and stop. I didn't have the knowledge of fishing a worm, right? Because I hadn't done it enough to get those bites. So yeah, that definitely makes sense, because like Randy and I'll say, if Randy gets to fishing a jig too fast, he'll say, I need to slow down. What am I doing? I need to slow down. He knows, and in a lot of spots you have to fish that jig slow. Not always, but if he's not getting the bites and he starts to slow down and gets them, boom, there's another clue.
Yep.
So, yeah, I feel like we're kind of all over the place with comments, but I feel like it's more than just luck. If it was luck, I would just go out with a random lure every time, swing for the fences, and hope. But
yeah, I mean, and granted, there's days where we get to that point where we're just like, what else do we do? What else? I've tried everything that I know to be as a valid method to catch fish on this body of water. What else am I going to do? Throw something random? And those are the times where I think honestly luck really comes into it. It's like, oh, I'm just going to huck something out into the middle of the water with this, and maybe I catch something, maybe I snag something, maybe I find I get lucky and find some structure out here in the middle of the lake. The luck isn't always catching fish. It's there's a lot more to it. It's like I said, finding that structure, maybe trying to semi figure out what kind of method or retrieve that they want to strike after, and things like that. So
yep. Bulldog with a good comment here. I call it luck when I drop a lure right on its head and it hits immediately. I would call that a reaction strike. A lot of times you'll have that with topwater where you throw a buzzbait or a frog, in a good looking spot, and literally that bait just barely hits and that fish is right there. I don't call that luck. I call that a good reaction strike, because yes, it was lucky that you happened to cast there, but I think it was still that fish's reaction, right? And if you kind of know those spots, unless you just randomly closed your eyes and hucked it out, there's probably a reason you were casting there, right? You were casting at a shade line, you were casting under trees, something led you to cast there, right? So maybe we're digging too far into it. Let's see what everybody else is saying. Take away. Ooh, here we go. Frederick said, take away all the electronics and ask the same question. Then I think a lot of it would come down to just fishing, right? Like there's people that will mark all these offshore spots, look at this stuff. They start to get burnt out when you hear the pros talk and they say, I just need to stop and just fish, right? And instinctively fishing is going off of what's worked for them in the past, not trying to make a pattern that's not there, right? That's not working.
Yep. That exact statement right there, trying to make the fish bite at a pattern that isn't there. I don't know how many times I've heard that in different videos and different things that I've watched. It's like the conditions are X, Y, and Z. They should be hitting on A, B, and C. Why aren't they doing it? I'm going to beat them over the head with it. Oh, let me stop trying to do that and just fish. And usually at that point in time, you're gonna start getting into them.
JCB
Oh,
says,
geez.
JCB says, crotch of the tree, greatest tip. LOL, 8 out of 10, I lose my lure. Yeah, it does happen sometimes, but throw that weedless Texas rig in there. That's usually what I have ready to go in there. Man, chat absolutely burned me tonight. I am almost 10 minutes behind. I'm going to start scrolling forward. Okay, Wolfman Mark, here's a good one. It says, Debo, how do you explain people saying the fish can see the line, so you should use a leader, but don't they see and maybe not bite if they see treble hooked on a jerk bait? It's a good question. Like, I go back and forth on this. Randy and I have tried it, and there's been days where I've used a fluorocarbon leader, and he was using blue braid this one day I can think of, and I was catching fish like 5-1. Like 10 to 1. Like, it was crazy. He couldn't get a bite, and I was catching him left, right. Exact same lure. And that was the video. He ended up breaking that lure, and I ended up catching the braid and brought it back in, but the exact same rig. And I was out fishing him by far. But there's been other times where we fish it on braid. Frogs, for example. I always fish my frog on braid, but I don't know. I don't know the answer. I feel like it does make a difference. I like fluorocarbon. Even if you only get 1 or 2 more bites, 1 or 2 of those bites could have been a PB,
I just hate tying on a leader. If I just had a leader buddy that followed me around and would like tie up a leader every time I broke off, because I'm going to break off all the time with the leader, I feel like. I'd use leader more often.
Every time, I'll do that.
Done.
CH Mosser, new member. Thank you for the join. I appreciate you. Yeah, so I hear a lot of this, and yeah, that's kind of the thing, but I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that, because like, how far do you go? So let's say they could use a depth finder and find, just the random arcs like it used to show. I don't know, whatever they call that, marks, where it shows like the little arc of a fish. Is that okay? But live scope and live target is not okay? Like, I don't know.
Like, have you seen any videos where they're using live scope? It literally looks like they're playing a video game. They're jigging, and you see their bait, and you see the fish come up, and you see, well, first of all, you're not even casting out there unless you're seeing fish. Like, guys are fishing like this now. They're not even looking at the water. They're looking down at their electronics. They're not even like using any of that intuition or that knowledge. They're just using. I hate electronics. I mean, I'm on board with like a depth finder. If you want to show me a little bit of structure, okay, maybe there's a brush pile over here, things like that. But I don't like the idea of me being able to cast out there at a school of fish and watching them react to my lure, and me being able to catch them so much easier because I have these electronics. The idea of it, I don't like it. I just don't like it.
Yeah, I kind of go back and forth on it. Like, I don't know. I guess I would have to be in it. I don't know, because like to me it's part of like we're okay using some electronics, but if you have live scope, like you can't use that. I don't know. Like to me, like if everybody can have it, that's the other thing that's tough is how do you level the playing field, right? Because let's say there's a pro
Yes,
that's sponsored by
everybody
one of
can
these.
have it. Everybody can have it, but do you know how much like a Panoptics is?
Right. No, and that's what I was gonna say is, some of these pros are sponsored by them and get all that stuff free. Other guys on the end of take for example, Hellabass, trying to work his way up through the, winning the
Yeah.
Minnesota deal, trying to go to the elites. You know, is a regular guy like me that wins his way in gonna be able to do it? I don't know. So I don't know. I honestly don't know where to stand on that stuff. I don't have enough meat in the fight, so yeah, perfect example right there. Johnny Cox doesn't even use electronics most of the time. Yeah, John Cox was a perfect example of. I'm 99% sure it was him when I was watching that. He took some time off. I think was going to stop pro fishing. Got back into pro fishing after hiatus. Had like 3 rods on his deck and was like, I know they're going to be eating these. If they're not going to be eating these, that's confidence. Then I'm not
Yep.
going to win. And he ended up winning that whole tournament with like 3 or 4 rods on deck, not using electronics and fishing off of his past successes and failures. Like, putting that together, thinking they're going to be on this. I've fished enough to know this is what they're going to be doing. And he won that. And yeah, he's a
Yep.
perfect example of somebody who doesn't use, a ton of electronics. So
And like I
I don't
said,
know.
electronics as far as like waypoints and depths and things like that of, you're cruising along and you're fishing and you throw out a waypoint because you found some offshore structure that you've just nailed them on. Cool, that's totally fine. I'm totally on board with that because I know I've gone out and fished on the bank before and I'm like, "Oh my God, this place is amazing. I've slayed them here." And then I've tried to go back and find that spot and I'm just like, "Wait, was it that bend up there with that down tree or was it that one back there or wait, no,
Yeah.
we got to go up further. Let's go up further. I know it's up there, you know?"
But see that, I mean, that's a perfect example of how much conditions can change. Like there's literally been Randy and I have been to spots. I've been to spots where sometimes a couple weeks, sometimes it's more like a month, but we'll fish a spot and come back a couple weeks or a month later. And it's like a completely different lake. You can go to from crystal clear, being able to see like 8 feet down to you had, 10 rains and it's all completely muddy. That's going to change what those fish do, and knowing that stuff and putting that together kind of comes with time. But Patrick kind of summed up me and Randall. If I catch a fish, it's skill, which would be me. If Randall catches one, it's just luck. I'm kidding, Randall. I love you. Where else? Philip, my guy Philip says my fish finders are rooster tail. They catch anything.
Yeah, I mean that's, you know, spinnerbait, same thing.
What else? What else do we have? I don't think I'm missing. I'm going to scroll down to the bottom. I'm still like 10 minutes behind. So I'm going to scroll all the way down. We're at 42 minutes, 285 people. Let's see if we can get over 300 here. I'm trying to go all the way down. Oh, here we go.
Yeah,
Riley. For anybody that might have missed it, I have a whole bag. I'm not going to go through everything again, but there's like 4 or 5 crankbaits, maybe more than that. A couple jigs, I think, some soft plastics, a whole bunch of stuff in here, all 6 cents themed. I was telling everybody earlier that I was putting a pegboard back there, and I found this bag. This was just like a random bag they gave me in an order. Kind of cool. It reminds me of the Crown Royal bags. It's like that
yeah,
velvety feel
that'd
or
be a
whatever.
huge Crown Royal bottle.
Yeah. But anyway, I found this and I packed it full of 6 cent stuff. I'm doing a 6 cents theme giveaway. So that's going to go off to somebody here in about an hour. We'll see how many people we saw on it. Mr. Stubby Dog, what are you doing back here? Come say hi.
I really, I really like this question right here. The noticeable difference in quality. I think I don't have the experience as what you do as far as, that high of an. This sounds terrible, and then I'm not trying to make it feel like that, but I don't have that much of experience with that high end of a reel, or excuse me, of a rod. Um, I know there is a really big difference between, say, going out and getting a less than $100 rod versus $100 rod or above. Um, I mean, I assume you have something similar. in reference to that as well.
Yeah, I was reading ahead on some comments that I want to Jig Squad just like did an awesome one. Yeah, so I think there's definitely diminishing returns, and this is a video I've needed to do for a long time. I would for sure say going from $100 rod to $180 rod, you're going to get much more for your money as opposed to going from $180 rod to a $280 rod. The higher you go in price, you're shaving off stuff like you're getting a lighter rod. Might not even be more sensitive. It might just be a different material that makes that rod lighter. Different materials, different guides, all these things that add to cost, but it may not make it a quote unquote better quality rod, right? Because I think a lot of people for quality, like a good quality rod, they're thinking something that's sensitive, something that feels good in the hand. And that rod at 180 might be just as good as that $280 rod, but this $280 one might be lighter. It might have a little bit stronger guides that are going to last a little bit longer. So I definitely think going from $100 to almost $200, you'll see way more of a difference than going from 180 to 280, for sure.
I do have to jump in there, and I see a couple of comments about, I've had who is it, Ken? Ken Stark says,
I'm not going to
he's
scroll
got
down to
$60, you're good. He's got $60 punching rods that are way better. It went away on my screen. Way better than more expensive ones. And I'll totally agree with that. I honestly, one of my more expensive rods is the God, what is it? The St.
Avid X.
Croix. Yeah, the Avid X. There's just something about that. I would way rather
A lot of it goes
throw.
in the feel, and I think that's your deal. Is it
Yeah,
doesn't fit the best in your hand like some of your other ones. Even if it's a more expensive deal, if it doesn't fit and feel 100% perfect and comfortable, you're not going to want to fish it.
yeah. hmm So, and it's like I go back to my original jig rod. It was a Vendetta, I think, an Abu Garcia Vendetta,
Old
and I
Vendetta.
had
Yep.
that thing. I had that thing for years and years and years, and then I broke, one of the eyes off of it, and I retired it. But I caught countless 5 pound plus bass on that thing, and it was just a solid workhorse. And then I upgrade and upgrade and get a little bit more expensive here and there, and it's like, God, I wish I could just go back and get another one of those. And somebody could probably sell me one for $20 today, and I'd be tickled.
Sounds
You
like you
know,
just got lucky with that rod.
yeah, it's just like I just happened to find the one that just, you know, it was the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow.
So Riley, good question. I need to do a video on that because I've gone through in my head specific lines of reels with companies, and it's like once you get to a certain point, you're it's very much you're diminishing returns. It's dropping off on what you're really getting for your money. And some of them have me completely dumbfounded, like the Lose Mock Crush, the orange reel. No idea why
Oh
that
yeah.
reel's that expensive. Is it because of the wind grips? It's like $170 reel. The Lose
Well, the
LFS
paint
has an
is
aluminum
orange.
frame. Yeah, I have no idea why that reel's so much. And it's not that it's a bad reel; it's a good reel, but like you can get the aluminum framed, $100, $120 reels that, in my opinion, are going to hold up longer. They don't have wind grips, and I know wind grips are expensive, but again, that's a thing that $100 Lose LFS versus $170 Mock Crush. I'll take the LFS all day,
And you can
even though
get
the Crush.
those slide over the grips
Yeah,
wind things.
yep. Yep. Even though the Crush is, $70, $80 more, you'd think, oh, for that much money, it's got to be a lot better, right? It's like the pretty exact same internals. I think the Crush has the centrifugal brakes on the spool where the LFS doesn't, but so that's a perfect example. So Riley, thank you for the donation and the question. That was a good one. Jig Squad, this is the one I was laughing at. Jig Squad said live scope is
Oh,
like
geez.
dating in your 20s. You want to go right to the hot ones. Yeah, that's like I feel like that's something that that social media here. I'm going to get on my old man rant. I feel like social media and like people nowadays want quick. What is the instant
Instant
gratification?
gratification.
Yes, want instant gratification. Like you see that stuff, and I'll even have people reach out to me for YouTube. Like, how can I get a ton of followers really like overnight and stuff? I'm like, I don't know. I just posted stuff that I liked and hope for the best, and if I knew the secret, I'd publish it and sell it. But where else are we at? Good golly, I am all over the freaking place. Oh, see now, Fishing with Grams disagrees with me. He says 180 to 280, you're going to see a bigger difference. Okay, I'm good for that debate.
Yeah, it's $100.
Grams,
It's a huge
so
difference.
Grams, that would be like the Dobbins, the black and blue one, which is like 180, going up to, I don't know what one's above that, but like in the Dobbins line. So let's say that going from the Fury to that black and blue one, I think there's more of a difference there. I don't even know if Gramps is still on. That's what's that, the Champion XP. Going from the Fury to the Champion XP, I feel like there's more of a difference. You can tell more of a difference than going from the Champion XP to whatever is 280 in the Dobbins line. But again, there's no right or wrong answer. So much of it's just how it fits.
I do got to jump in there and say I honestly feel like depending on who the maker is, it's going to depend even more, though, also.
That's true. Yeah, it depends on the exact rod and stuff, too. Yeah, that's a good point.
I just don't get it why, you can get $100 difference from one maker and $100 difference from another maker, and one of them's night and day to the other that is like mid-afternoon to early afternoon,
It's a combination. We've still got people talking about combination of, what is it, 8:15? I'm like 8 minutes behind. What up, guys? Greg in the house, another Iowa boy. What up, guys? Hey, Randy, been a while.
Yeah, Greg, I saw that. I was just thinking the other day, it's been a minute since we've seen you on there.
Yeah,
some
Greg,
good-looking fish in your picture, too.
Yeah, I owe you some plastics, so hopefully me, you, and Randall can get together sometime and hit the ice. Stubby dog, what you doing? Quit itching. I'm on live. These people can't hear with you itching.
Stop being a dog.
Yeah, I think like for the good refined feel, now he's over here wanting to come up. You want to come up here? Say hi to everyone. I think
I feel like he did that out of spite.
He's like, yeah, I'm going to work. You want to come up here? No. $100 rods are like, I feel like where you get the best bang for the buck. I do feel kind of like that $200 spot is the sweet spot where like you definitely jump up in sensitivity, but 200 to 300 to more, you don't get as much as you get. I don't know. We've kind of pounded that into the ground. Oh, absolutely. Yep. Fishing with Grams, the biggest difference is weight and sensitivity in the bottom contact rods or baits, for sure. Definitely spend your money on those as opposed to like a reaction lure, cast and retrieve. Definitely spend your money on those, either the finesse or the bottom contact stuff where you're really trying to get as much sensitivity as you can.
Yeah, 100%. Agreed with that.
What else? What else do we have for good? I'm going to scroll down. I'm going to skip ahead. I want to see if Fishing for Graham said 100. I don't know what that is. Chris, thank you for becoming a member. I appreciate you. Make sure I didn't miss anybody else here. I don't see any other donations. I don't see any other members. I'm going to keep scrolling. If I miss something, make sure you call it out, anyone. Stubby Bomb, that's how far behind I am.
Geez, Nick F, maybe. I think I just saw one scroll by.
I'm going to go to the bottom.
He said at the end of the day, just fish what feels good to you or something along those lines. And realistically, that's what it is. Like, Debo and I have, the biggest one that comes to my mind is whatever that combo was that you bought. And it was like, maybe like right around $100 combo. You had me casting while you were, doing some B-roll stuff, casting that as it compared to, some higher dollar combos. And I was like, that like $100-ish combo just feels better.
That was the Casitas, I think. Yeah, that Shimano Casitas combo. I was really surprised with that deal. Okay, so I am all caught up on comments. I scrolled all the way down. So if anybody had something that was like super, you need to get it answered, let me know. Otherwise, I'd like to get some this or that questions going. We're almost an hour in. I feel like we'll get a few questions rolling here. Then I'll do a giveaway because it's fun, and I appreciate all of you being in here, and I want to try to give back. And this or that questions are fun till we get to the hour mark.
I do have a question for everybody that's still in here, just because, with you and I, you primarily fish right-handed retrieve reels, and I primarily fish left-handed retrieve reels. Has anybody watching right now tried to go back and forth and switch? Devo, somehow you're able to successfully switch between a right and a left. I feel like I can semi do a right hand retrieve, but I definitely can't like jerk bait or walking lures or anything like that with a right hand retrieve, because it just doesn't work that way. But has anybody else had any experience or luck in trying to do that? And outside of just doing it, is there anything that you've tried that has improved or bettered your abilities? If that makes any sense.
Yeah, it does. And I think it's just time with it. Like anything else, trying to learn anything new. I spent, that's when we could actually hang out and stuff when the world wasn't crazy. You came down, we
Right.
were hanging out in the basement, and I was showing him, that I flip and pitch in here. My wife thinks I'm crazy, used to down here.
Yeah.
But that's been like, what, 3 or 4 years ago. I would
Oh, it's
just
been longer than
literally
that.
flip and pitch with my left hand back and forth down my basement, which was probably, I don't know, 25 feet. Stubby just grabbed something he's chewing over there. I don't know what it is. Stubby, what are you chewing?
That was when we went to the snake spot. That was a long time ago.
Oh man, that was long. Yeah, that was with Matt.
Yeah.
But yeah, I kept. What are you doing? He's got the
Dang.
zoomies.
He's hopped up on Mountain Dew. He's on that X Games stuff.
But yeah, just consistently every night I'd come down and do like 50 pitches with my left hand. And when I started, it was like I had 5 thumbs on this hand trying to do it. I felt so awkward. And then, slowly it started feeling better. And now I can literally, it doesn't matter if it's a left or right-handed combo. I go back and forth. And I even switch through the day. Like I'll go with a right-handed topwater, working it over to a left-handed reel spinnerbait. Doesn't matter.
But I mean, that's only half the battle. My bigger thing is the action, the working, where you're doing something more than just hucking and chucking and winding it back in. So
it's just a time thing. You got to get used to the feeling of it, and you have to retrain your brain. Train your brain. So fishing with Gramps. Stubby, what? Yeah, no.
X Games.
He's got girls' toys. He grabs the girls' toys down here and pesters them because they're like, "No, Stubby, give me my toys back," and then he thinks it's a game. No,
it is a game.
Fishing with Gramps, $139 shipped is the sweet spot today. Yeah, go check out Gramps' new video. He's talking about, you can't see it. I've got one of the Dobbins there, the Fred Rumbanus combos. And I don't know, Gramps, can they use I didn't see if they could use your discount code too to save money or not, but $139 for the Fred Rumbanus green combos, which are essentially the Champion XP that are like that $190 spot, basically almost $200 rods for $139 over at American Legacy. So go check out his video. Gramps, we always appreciate the support. And I do have one of those. I've used it for cranks, and I really, really like mine. I would have no issues recommending it at that price. Okay, Travis, this or that. Shimano Corrado MGL 150 or the Daiwa Tatula Elite. That's tough because I didn't get my MGL until later in the year to try. The Tatula Elite, when I did that casting test, it was the hardest one to backlash. It didn't win the distance game that day. The Revo SX beat it that day, but the brakes, what do they call it? The Mag Force? Is it the Mag Force? I want to say Mag Force. That might not be right. But those Daiwa brakes were the cone that moves. They work so well. What are you laughing at, Randall?
It was that the day that we were out at that one parking lot and the security guard comes up, or is that a different one?
No, that was a different one. I filmed it down at my grandpa's when I went down there.
Oh, yeah.
No, not that guy.
My answer is anything that isn't Daiwa.
Randy doesn't like Daiwa.
You honestly, you're gonna have to like trick me. You're gonna have to like take a reel and be like, "Oh, dude, definitely try this reel out. It's super awesome." And you're gonna have to like, shave off the Daiwa logos and things like that in order for me to realistically be able to give it a chance, because I don't know. They just feel like they're just bad luck to me. They're not lucky.
Fish in the Southeast, this or that. Tomato or tomato? I say tomato.
Tomato, tomato.
Tomato, tomato.
Who says tomato? Who says potato? Come
I feel
on
like
now.
English
It's
people probably
potato
say
and tomato.
tomato. Potato.
Tomato, tomato.
What are you doing? I'm on live. Quit yakking. Chris Russ, this or that. Breakfast burrito or breakfast sandwich? That's hard. That depends. Depends on what the innards are. I like a breakfast sandwich so I can eat it on the drive. Breakfast burrito, I'm too worried about spilling stuff on me.
Breakfast burrito all day long. And Fat Boy Fishing, you have no idea what you're talking about.
Packers and Niners. I don't watch NFL. I will have to go with the Niners though because I hate Wisconsin and their college teams and everything that they do because they're always rivaling with Iowa. But they have George Kittle. Niners have Kittle, who was a Hawk. So got to go that way.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm going Niners as well, just because Packers.
This is a good one, Mike. Fishing early in the morning or fishing as the day ends? I'm definitely a super early guy. I didn't used to be. I hate getting up early, but I love fishing early in the morning. That drive, like if I go up to Randy's, it's like a little over an hour drive, and I love that like dark drive where I can just kind of zone out and like focus and think about fishing.
That steam, that mist that just comes up. That I will say I do love that, but I also at the exact same time, there's not a whole lot better than you've been doing whatever you've been doing all day long. It's hot, it's the middle of summer. You get out there and you're fishing and it's starting to cool off and you hear all the, the bugs coming out and you're just listening to nature around you and the sun's starting to set and it's I would say day ends. I'll just say I'll get up early in the morning and fish until the day ends. Does that work?
all the above. Yeah, there is something nice about those days where it's like where it's super hot in the day and it like cools down right at night. It's like nice and cool. Yep. You can hear all the birds and like frogs and stuff. I don't know. Either one. Generally though, I like
top water at night too.
Because the thing about fishing in the night is, or like as the day ends, especially from being like trying to take video stuff, is I know there's going to be a point where I can't really take video anymore. Whereas fishing early in the day, I can get footage and, as the day goes on, I can still keep filming. So it's like it doesn't run out. But Joshua, lasagna or spaghetti? So I'm not really a big noodle guy. I feel like noodles are overrated. So I'm not big on like lasagna, spaghetti, like noodly stuff. I feel like it's overrated. Yeah, I don't know. Sorry, all my Italiano friends out there that just rolled over. I don't know. I feel like my old lady loves like Italian food. And like we'll go out to eat Italian and I'm like, I don't want a big plate of boring pasta with stuff in it. I don't know. I'd rather just
You obviously haven't had good pasta then, have you?
Oh, Randall.
You gotta eat as you're cooking the pasta, you gotta throw a little bit of sauce in there, you gotta mix it up before it gets ready. You don't want just like a plain pasta thrown on a dish, man. You gotta throw a little gravy in there.
I've had a little bit of this and that, Randy. I don't know. I feel like pasta's overrated.
God.
Okay, fish in the Southeast.
Go fish your Daiwa some more.
This or that, Bass X or Dobbins Fury. I have not got to put enough time in with the Bass X. I didn't have the old version. I have the new version that just came out. The Fury is tried and true, solid, great deal at that price point. So I would for sure say Fury just because I put a bunch more time in with it. And it's good.
I haven't touched a new Bass X yet, so I'm gonna go Dobbins on that one too.
Okay, we've got a couple donations and stuff. Let's get to these, and then I can do Fat Boy, good one. This or that, wacky rig or spinnerbait. Last year, for sure, I would have said wacky rig because like I couldn't put that thing down. Confidence of all time. If I could only choose one and go out, I'd say spinnerbait.
I'm going spinnerbait also, just because. That's
Just because.
spinnerbait.
Okay, I'm going to skip over some of these this or that's because I want to do the giveaway here, but I want to get these donations before it skips ahead or I miss them. I'll try to come back and grab some of those. Okay. Breton, this or that, bank fishing or boat slash watercraft fishing for the rest of your life.
I saw that one, and that's really a tough question, just because.
Okay, I'm going to throw out all
Personally,
variables. I'm going to throw out all variables and say boat watercraft because you can cover more water. Even though I love bank fishing, and a lot of times I bank fish out of necessity because I might only have an hour to go. You can't like launch a boat, get everything ready, done, go out fish, and have any sort of success in an hour. There's not enough time, but yeah, boat,
I'm going bank because of those reasons. Like
Oh,
if I'm going out and I only have a little bit of fish or a little bit of time to fish, I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna fish regardless. If it's has to be on a boat, I'm not gonna bother. I'm not even gonna, potentially miss out on my PB that day because it might rain or it might get dark in, 45 minutes, something like that. I think bank overall gives you the most opportunity to, even if you got an hour to fish, to get out there and fish.
true. Yeah, I try to take all variables out and just say which would I rather do. And if time wasn't a factor and just pure success, like I'm gonna jump in a boat because you can go everywhere and not have to sit. And anyway, okay. What else? I know we've got a couple more. Oh, now we're at the sandwich and burritos here. Niners and Packers. This is how far behind I am. Dersh in the house with the $5 donation. Thank you, brother. Got to show my support this week. Hope everything is going well, Debo and Dizzle. Brother, I appreciate you. I don't know if you're working the late shift or not, but I appreciate you a ton, my friend. Thank you. Let's see. I know there's a couple other donations that are still up here. These were really good. Jeff.
I will say Gramps did say no, or ask something along the lines of me and kayaking. No. Had a traumatic canoe incident when I was younger, so I don't like little vessels.
Jeff, this is a funny one. Got to do another best moments of the year on the water. Just watch the old one where Dizzle asked you to smell his finger. Yeah, there's
that's like a multiple occurrence
situation
where I do it often.
Like a couple of spots where it always has this random green. I don't even know what it is. Like this green, slimy, specifically two spots. One of them smells like a skunkish. I don't know. The other one just stinks. And every time we go there, he gets any on his hooks. He's always like, "You want to smell my fingers?" I'm like, "No, I don't."
One of them is like a super like chemically horrible death smell.
Yeah. Randall always trying to get me to smell his fingers. No, Randall, I'm not going to smell your fingers. This one just because I saw it. Nitro Wolf, Jackhammer, or Thunder Cricket. I like both of them. I think the Thunder Cricket has its spot. It's a little less vibrating, a little less intrusive. I feel like enough people don't give the Thunder Cricket enough credit. I've had good luck on the Thunder Cricket. And I haven't.
You probably haven't tried the new Jackhammer, the micro mini blah 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 plastic lip things yet, have you?
I've got them, but I haven't got to throw them yet. No,
I didn't think so. Those look kind of interesting, but everything I've heard thus far is not necessarily that positive with them. But who cares what everybody else thinks?
I'll trust Gramps on this and everybody else. Gramps is a huge chatter bug thrower, jackhammer, and it's super. Like it starts right away. Good colors, good feel, vibration to it. It's just I haven't bought a ton of them. I did get a little shipment in, and I want to try them some more, put more time in, but just because of the cost, I've kind of waited to find them on sale. But it's hard for me fishing from the bank so much. It's hard for me to throw it. An alternative would be the cross eyes. If you fish from the bank, the Z-Man cross eyes chatterbait has been killer for me. It's got like the two pieces of wire that act like a hook guard on it. So if you fish from the bank, it has saved me a ton.
But you always got to make sure and double check those wires.
In the back. Randy still gives me crap about that because apparently I say it like 20 times when I
There,
fish
there
it.
was
Dave,
one video that you said it like 87 times.
I got to make sure people know. David, is it Rauschenbach? Hopefully I said that right, with a $20 bomb. Dude, thank you so freaking much. If I had anything left, I'd cheers you to it. One drop in there. Okay, I think I am past all members, past all. Oh man, look at the comments. Good God, I cannot keep up with you all. It's too much. I need like a moderator to look at all
Yeah,
this.
I don't know how this is picked up, considering we're how deep into this thing right now.
Yeah, we're an hour 10 and I'm at 311 people. This is the most I've had on, and y'all are killing me. Okay, let me do a giveaway real quick. So for anybody that just joined, in case you want to get in on it, you're not sure, I'm going to go through speed run. Crush 50X crankbait, finesse jig, Quake 80, 4K gizzard. I've got some whales. I got some flushins. I've got what else do I got? I got some EWG hooks, some big, huge, what are they? Divine shaky worms, like 37 inches long. Some of the clouts that I like.
I think they were 9 inches.
Yeah, something like that, 9 inches. The Vega frog I've really liked. The black and white crank. Another crank that's mislabeled because I mixed up the boxes, but that's a bluegill. Actually, it's a really pretty color. I've got it in a thing that says like something craw. I'll show you this real quick.
I do that so often.
Yeah, I don't know. It must have been an unboxing when I put stuff away. I just must have switched them. But 6 Cents truly does have some of the best color crankbaits. Look at that. That looks like a custom deal. That baby is pretty. Something bluegill. I don't know the real color.
Oh,
but anyway.
That ice fishing jig or lipless that I sent you yesterday that I got, those looked really, really good. I got that and a fire tigerish. Those look super, super nice as well.
Okay, I've got 2 more left in here. Oh, I didn't even see this the first time. There's some tungsten in here.
What is that? No, I think those are mine. Didn't you get those for me?
Are those mine? I've got extra tungsten for you, Randall. Some quarter ounce tungsten. That's usually one of my starting points. 3/8 or a quarter from bank fishing, and then the finesse curve. So all that's going in this velveteen bag, and I'm going to pick a giveaway winner now, so you can know if you want to enter or not. All these.
It's a heck of a giveaway there, Debo. That is that's dynamite.
Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff in here that's good. I want to try to give back. Like I said, I was cleaned up my whole mess that was over here. Started the pegboard and stuff. So
moved it to the other side of the room.
Moved it so you guys can't see it. No, I actually cleaned up. Got the pegboard going. Okay, so let me choose the
hashtag
broadcast.
crotch.
No, not hashtag crotch.
Kyle Norris, hashtag crotch. Oh, that's funny.
Let me share this real quick and we can get the giveaway going. I'm going to go back and try to grab some of those this or that's because those are fun as hell. I love those. Okay, so hashtag 6th, sixth, because it's going to be a sixth cents giveaway. Hey, I did see somebody say Jeff, DEBO'S. Yeah, man, DEBO'S were rolling and they're hurting units right now. Is aquatic biologist in here? Shan the man O'Gorman? I wonder if the effects on ice fishing keeping their catches and what does. Man, I could pick Shan's brain forever. Are you in here, Shan? Or if somebody was just talking about the aquatic biologist, maybe somebody was just talking about him. But yeah, good dude. He was on a live a while back. Super nice guy. Yeah, and like the knowledge he has. So he does a lot of like private pond work and stuff. Stocking places and try to get, try to grow the bass's size. And it's crazy the amount of like thought and the number of variables that goes into that stuff. But,
100%. Like just the whole idea of water temperatures and making sure that if you are trying to build your own pond, to make sure that you got at least this big of an area for this deep of level and stuff like that is very, very interesting. And it's amazing. I don't even know what else to say.
It's amazing.
It just blows my mind. And the people that have spring fed versus water fed, like rainfall fed kind of stuff. I don't know what you would actually call that, but
Yeah, I'm just talking like even forage, like how much size do you have? What forage should you put in? How much of that forage? Should you have other predatory species if you're trying to grow, size, all that stuff.
yep. How many big fish can you have versus little fish?
Right.
And
Right.
yep.
Matthew, okay, this or that, just hard baits or just soft baits? Ooh, damn, that's hard. Oh, I would say
Hard bait?
soft baits. I would say soft baits because I can go like Texas rig, soft jerk baits. I feel like I fish soft baits more the places that we fish, but that's tough. I'm going knee jerk reaction. I'm going to say soft baits.
I'm probably gonna have to fall in line. Well, what does a jig fall into? Is that technically a hard bait or a soft bait?
No, that's neither. I would say like hard baits would be like your cranks, jerk baits. To me, that wouldn't fall in.
Okay.
Like if I'm thinking hard baits,
Okay.
I'm talking
Throw
like
throw
quick baits,
jigs
jerk
out of the
baits.
water. I'm probably gonna go hard baits because then I get chatter baits, spinner baits, lipless crank baits, jerk
Shannon's
baits.
in here.
I'm going hard baits.
Yeah, if you guys haven't, go follow Shan, the aquatic biologist. Look him up on Instagram. I don't know what his YouTube channel is off the bat, but I know he's going to try to get that going. But just look him up on
Is that
Instagram,
a
aquatic biologist.
bass in that
That's a
picture?
bass. Yeah.
Holy,
Oh yeah.
what is that?
I don't know,
How
probably like
double digit is
37
that?
pounds. He catches double
Mid-teens,
digits like
right?
nothing. But he was saying, it's tough because it's hard to give tips on managing or trying to grow bigger bass in public waters because like a lot of the spots that he's helping with are private, and sometimes you just have to do a complete start over. So he might drain a
Yeah.
pond and put different things in there. But yeah, he knows his crap. Go check him out. I know Philip and I have picked his brain on quite a bit of stuff. Alan, how about that time
No
you hit
way.
Dizzle with the pike you caught?
When did
I would
you hit
never
me
hit
with a pike?
I would never hit Randy with a pike.
It doesn't surprise me, but I'm sure it probably happened.
Okay, let's see. What do we have? 215. I'm going to skip
I
down to
was
the
gonna say
bottom.
I like randomly like YouTube. You just let videos play and roll and things like that. And one of them came up where we were fishing at that one frog spot where you got bit off by the turtle, and I caught a I caught a pike, and I was like, "Hey, Debo, come on over, buddy." And at the same time, I was like, "Look at this little girl over here asking for somebody else to come take his fish off his hook." But at the same time, I'm like, Debo likes touching these stinky, slimy snakes, so I'll let him do it.
I love pike. I'll take topwater pike all day. Okay, we're at 220. I feel like 220 is a good round number. I am sharing, right? Okay, we're going to do the giveaway. So here we go. Who's getting the 6 cents? Oh, and I forgot to say, you have to be here. If you're not here, you can't claim it. Oh, I saw Chris Russ. Joe Jig Squad. That's funny. I'm actually going to be on Jig Squad's show next week. This was not set up. This is not a fix. That's completely random. Jig Squad, cool. Well, I will know how to find you and get in touch with you. Jig Squad hit me up. That's funny as hell. Cool. Okay, well that was an easy giveaway. Dizzle's the kilt master, Debo Snow Curl. Shan says it's rigged. There's a bunch of people saying it's rigged. There was no rigging to that one. That was a random draw.
And Jig Squad throws out a luck.
Chris
Confidence. That's all luck.
Chris says he can give it away next week. Yeah, I give this away to Jig Squad, and then Jig Squad, when I'm on their show, they're gonna say, "Hey, we got this cool thing of 6 cents baits. I'm gonna give away." Nick says so fixed, so rigged. Now I feel like I have to give something away because that almost felt rigged to me, and I was the one that did the random draw.
Debo, he's only going to be able to give it. They're only going to be able to give it away, assuming you get it out in a reasonable amount of time.
Yeah, that's true. It does take me like a month. You know what? I'll do another giveaway. How about this? I'm going to pick another person. That's going to have to do all the. You know what? I'm not even going to do. I'm going to do draw again. So Jig Squad, I will get you the 6 cents thing out. I'm going to do a random thing. I got some, which are just barely new out. Fishing the 413. Fishing the 413 in here. Is that a pike? By golly, I think that's a pike. Is that a muskellunge? I can't tell.
That looks almost musky. The lightness of it.
Oh, it's got the reddish orange fin and back, so that'd be a muskie, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, so the deal is I'm going to send you out. I got some of the brand new Iconelli mini swim jigs from Missile Baits that are like brand spanking new out of the press.
Go back to full screen on that one, would you?
Oh, yeah. First, I should see if Fishing the 413 is in here or not. Fishing the 413.
I'll keep an eye on it. Yep, okay. He's here.
Okay, cool.
And it is a muskie.
Send me an email. DEBO'SFishing@gmail.com with like a screenshot of your YouTube thing, so I know it's you. Because believe it or not, in the DEBO fam, I had some fishing friends, some random people trying to get like free stuff, saying, "Hey, I won. Send me a bunch of stuff." And I'm like, "Okay, send me a screenshot." And they're like, "Oh, I don't know how to do that." I'm like, "Wait a minute."
Somebody, I don't know who it was, but somebody said Dizzle's going to win next.
Oh, it was random. Randy won all that stuff. That's crazy. So, okay, Fishing the 413 is in here. So, Fishing the 413, send me an email there. I'll show you this. Yeah, these are new. I'll be doing an unboxing of them, but super cool little finesse swim jigs. So, if you see here, only that big compared to my finger, just a couple inches. But with the new Missile Baits mini D-Chunk, really liking that. Got to play with it just a little bit in the water. It was way too cold to catch stuff, but I'll send you a few of these and throw some other random things in there and hook you up, brother. So we'll do a couple of ways since the first one was rigged.
Obviously, trailer's not included in that package, just the jig itself, right?
No, trailer's included. No, I'll throw a pack of the mini D-Chunks in.
Well, no, what I was saying is when you buy the jig itself, it's just the jig. Yeah. It's not like those other ones that come with. Okay.
Yeah, it's just the jig that comes in, but I love this. This is like
a Baitman special. That is a dynamite pairing right there.
Sure,
like those colors are TNT.
Yeah, look at that highlight purple. Yeah, love those. So
yeah,
I'll throw some of those into some other random stuff. Fishing the 413, hit me up. I'm gonna close that tab and bring Randall back. Okay, so we're at almost an hour and a half. We'll go for a few more minutes. Are there any questions? Yeah, Caesar says those Missile Baits jigs are sweet. I am absolutely in love with those. I think for pond fishing and stuff, these little finesse jigs are going to be killer. Randy, I got you some of these the Missile D chunks that I think are going to be good on finesse jigs too. But
yeah,
what else? What else do we have for questions? Anything else before we get out of here? Any more of this or that? Fat Boy says
I saw Chris Russ
were rigged more rigged than Texas, the Texas rig. I see what you did there, brother. I see what you did.
Is there any way to block that guy or
Nick? Yes, I've tried to block him. I can't figure out how. Julie says, gonna try those mini D chunks on a War Eagle. Yeah, I actually got some of those and they fit perfect on a War Eagle jig. I think I showed that. I think I gave some of those to Burley to give away that time I was on his, but yeah, they fit perfect on a little War Eagle jig.
God, what was it? Mike? I saw Mike. I don't remember what the last I didn't see what the last name was. He said best places to fish in Iowa. I mean, I'm gonna have to say where it's wet, waterish. There's no, great place to fish around here. I don't think. I think it's just you got to go out there and just try everything.
More epic randomness. Top baits for beginners. Gosh, that's a whole nother live. Maybe more epic randomness. I'm going to take a picture of this and maybe that'll be our next live. If you're getting into bass fishing.
I was just going to say like a spook. Spooks are easy.
I mean, for me, I would say like just off the top of my head, frog for top water because it doesn't get snagged like treble hook baits. Spinner bait because you can cast it, retrieve it. And then like a wacky rig, like in the tough spots or a Ned rig. I don't know. We can go down a whole rabbit hole.
Oh my God.
Shan says I have a question. Shan, what's your question? Is my beard fake? No, it's not fake.
I read more epic randomness as top baits, but I read it as top water baits. That's why I said spook.
Oh, so I don't know if Shan's asking this to everybody or just me. I'm assuming everybody. He said, I need ice fishing info. How often do you keep a limit? That's a good question. I don't know how much that like impacts, but I mean, there's guys. So, for example, the reason I say that is there's a lake here in Iowa where they used to have a yellow bass overpopulation, and they allowed no limits on yellow bass. You can keep as many as you want. Which, by the way, if you guys get a chance to fish for them, do it because they're like hybrids, like wipers, white bass.
Hmm.
Taste amazing, and they're considered like a invasive species around here. I don't know what the name is, but you can keep as many as you want. So they would do these ice fishing tournaments where guys would literally have the wagons that go on the back of four wheelers full, like overflowing of these yellow bass. And that's been years ago. The last time we went up there, I think I saw like two yellow bass when we fished it, but there was a ton of perch. So it's like I don't know
Yep.
how some of these guys, because there's guys going out like every day, I feel like on some of these lakes, keeping their limit, which is like what, 25 panfish, 25 perch, you know,
25. Yeah.
yeah, like craziness. So I don't know. I know there's a lot of good old boys that are out here that I see every time I go, and they're catching and keeping everything. But
Yeah, it's crazy just to think like of all these people that go out with their buckets and they catch fish and how many of those people aren't, abiding by the rules and regulations, blah blah blah. But at the same time, a lot of the waters around here anyway are able to, keep up with that stuff. And, luckily around here, I feel like I don't want to get up on my high horse or anything like that, but I feel like a lot of people around here are being very conscientious, consci. They're thinking of other people besides themselves when they're keeping and harvesting fish like things like that. So
yeah, yeah, and especially with stuff like that yellow bass, yeah, get them all out of there because Shan said, I don't want to lose this question, but Shan said those guys are saving the fishery. Yeah, because for
yep,
example, like I know a lot of people don't like to catch and keep, but there's a lake that I've done good at every year. I've caught a 4 pound bass or bigger every time I fished it. Last year, I caught my second biggest bass there. And this year, just after I caught it, about a month after, they drained that lake. And I don't know if they kept any of the fish or not, if
oh
they just completely wiped it because of yellow bass in there. And they were so
yep,
overrun, everything was stunted. The yellow bass weren't even big, not like this other lake where you could keep a limit and be catching like huge yellow bass. This place,
hmm
they were all like 7 inches. They were eating everything that the bluegill and the bass normally would when they were small. And these yellow bass were just big enough, kind of like shad, where the bass couldn't really eat them. They had to wipe it. So it's like, yeah, those people saving that and eating those fish are saving the place. So
and I just talk about how I feel like people around here are really, smart when it comes to fishing and things like that. And then you go into they had to drain an entire lake and kill all the fish because some jackwagon brought in a bunch of minnows and things like that to catch fish that turns out to be these
well, that's
yellow
what happened there.
bass.
Yeah, that's what we talked to DNR.
Yeah.
Randy and I were there. It's been a few years ago, even though that
Yeah.
DNR guy wasn't real hip on DEBO'S YouTube. Uh,
Oh yeah, he was a jerk.
he wasn't a jerk. He was just very serious, like not like the other
He
DNR guys that we've got.
Oh yeah, yeah, no, the second guy. Okay, yeah. Gotcha.
But yeah, we were talking to him about it, and he's like, yeah, he's like, we had, I don't know, and I think they knew the guys from the way he was talking, but they had some guys in there that stocked it because they thought they knew what they were doing for ice fishing, and
Yeah.
completely stunted the place by adding all those yellow bass and killed it. And he's like, yeah, he's like, I don't know why people do that. They try to take the lake into their own hands. And I've had multiple lakes around here. That's the third lake I know of that's been drained by people introducing either shad or yellow bass in places that can't hold them. So I
Yeah,
feel like
and
I'm
I don't I
cut off
don't
on a
know
rant, but
the logic or anything behind that, and it's really interesting to like think that people actually do know like the science behind it, but yeah, guys, just don't do that. Don't do that because that The second one that you were talking about, if we're talking about the same one, had some really big fish in it, and
Yeah,
hopefully they did something to, keep those big fish and, transport them somewhere or transplant them somewhere else.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Rich, we're gonna end on this one. We're almost at an hour and a half. This or that. Hat bill backwards or forward. We already know Dizzle and DEBO'S answers. I'm a hat forward guy unless I have my painting mask or something on. It's hard to get it over, but I don't know. I just feel like nowadays I don't look good in the backwards hat anymore. I'm too old.
Okay,
Randy
so
can pull it off.
this is a place where I have a lot of experience and knowledge on this. Um, it's got to be this certain type of hat. This hat honestly feels better backwards than what it does forwards. There's a little bit of a gap right underneath the
This
bill.
is
I
a real.
don't like it. Backwards, it
I
feels
agree.
amazing.
You're a rebel. Out raving on Friday nights, doing karaoke. All right.
Speaking of, there is a rave starting in like 15 minutes.
Yeah,
So.
speaking of, we got to get off so Randy can hit the rave and go do some karaoke. But that's it, Fuchsia friends. Thank you, everybody, so much. We had 300 people in here for quite a long time, so I appreciate you all.
Heck yeah.
We'll do it again next weekend. Hopefully, we can get Randy in if he's not too if he slept from the previous night's rave and such, or if he's out with the old lady. But anyway, thank you all for watching.